One of the features that this has to offer would be the fact that you could tell the temperature of outside the grow tent and within. You can control the temperature inside if you have other things to do so. For instance, the Terraform 7 AC unit, which is also a heater and a dehumidifier and a fan. I think it's pretty cool. Be sure to check out my video for it. But if you've got yourself one of those little heater thingies, I don't know what it's called because I don't have one. A TerraForge. TerraForge? If you've got something like that, this can control it. I bet you're wondering what else it could do. Well, me too. So we're gonna go ahead and start playing with it. Alright, so as you can see here, this thing does quite a bit, especially seeing as you could use dongles that allow you to use third-party lights. That's pretty cool. What else does it do? I don't know if you guys are able to see that, but it has the little power symbol. Then right here, it's got a temperature symbol, as well as this one. Then the rest of these are going to be for UIS cables. So you'll be plugging the power in right there. Alright, so you should have a box that looks something like this. In here, you should have your sensor probe, your power adapter, your controller plate bolts, wood screws, wire tie, cable dock, as well as hook and loop ties. Now, if this smart controller is your first purchase through AC Infinity, you're going to want to download the app that's actually inside the instruction booklet. Also, if you're looking to make a purchase yourself for AC Infinity products, be sure to use promo code ASTRO. Alright, so here's the power cable, obviously, lightning bolt, power sign. Then, upon removing this from the box, you can clearly see that this is a probe. You want the readings to be based off the same elevation your canopy is at. This is basically a fake leaf. And now you're going to see me insert the temperature probe. There are actually 2 designated spots for these probes. Make sure that you put them in the correct slot. So now that we've got it plugged in, the temperature probe is hooked up, which is the thing that's dangling above me here. Right there. Now we're going to figure out how to control this with the AI remote. But I think first we should set up the remote. You're going to do that by installing the AC Infinity app if you haven't done that already. Now, after installing the app, we need to connect the device to the app. So once you have your application open, you're going to start by hitting the plus symbol at the top right corner of the screen. After doing so, you're going to want to select a smart controller section. So the controller that I'm looking for here is going to be the controller AI Plus. It's the very top option for me, so I'm going to go ahead and select that. So I've got to hold the port button for 5 seconds, then wait for the Bluetooth icon to start flashing.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
As you can see at the top there, you've got the Bluetooth icon is flashing. So now we're going to go ahead and hit the next option on the phone. Alright, so now you're going to want to connect to your Wi-Fi. You got to make sure you're on a 2.4G network because it's not going to work on a 5. After making sure that you're on a 2.4, you should be good to go on that and move on to the next step, which is playing with your device. We should be able to get started after this firmware update. Go ahead and get that done. We've successfully connected to our device. It's time to get back to the video. By the way, big shout out to AC Infinity. Thank you for all this equipment. Alright, so now that we've got the charcoal filter plugged in, we're going to go ahead and hook up the UIS cable that I set aside earlier, and this is going to connect to the AI controller. Alright, so we're going to start out on beginner mode. I have no idea what I'm doing. So it's asking me if it's an auto or a photo. I'm going to select photo. We're going to go next. Let's go ahead and start with seedlings just to see. Alright, so we can see that port 8 is going to be the fan that we've got hooked into it. So go ahead and select that. Now hit next. What we're looking at here is their suggested VPDs, like the temperature, the humidity, and all that. And it looks like it's just going to handle all of it for me. Cool. I'm going to hit start. So they got this setting right here. It says tap to view and edit your AI settings if you would like to have more control over it, which is really cool. Alright, so now that we've got the controller AI Plus all set up, ready to go, connected to our phone, I figured it's a good time to go ahead and install it on the tent that you see behind me. Currently, there's 2 9-inch clip fans hooked into it, but if you look at this diagram here, you can see that we can plug in a lot more stuff. So we're gonna. For instance, I've got these Ion Beam S16 wall mounting lights, and they're magnetic, so we're just gonna stick them on the posts. Also, I've got a charcoal filter here to keep it smelling fresh. The tent behind me here is an AC Infinity 4x4 grow tent with the original Scorpion Diablo. Within there, I've got a 90-gallon bed. Let's get started. So what you're seeing me do here is actually install gardening posts going up through the PVC pipe so that I can put the wall mounting lights onto them. This is a 4x4 grow tent, but it doesn't seem like the cables are going to reach to each of the posts, so that's why I'm doing this. So not only will this device detect anything that you plug into it, but it then learns from your environment and adjusts the settings accordingly, offering optimized conditions that are catered to your garden. Not only that, but it notifies you if there's an issue going on in your tent that you need to know about. I mean, that seems pretty handy to me, because if it sends you an alert saying, hey, your humidity is too low, then that's a good sign your humidifier is probably empty. Then we gotta talk about one of the coolest features that it has. If you're somebody who runs CO2, you might want to hold on to your pants or something. You're gonna shit so hard they fly off. Before kicking on your exhaust fan or your AC unit, it's gonna take into consideration that you're actually supplementing CO2. So it's not just gonna dump all the air out of your tent. And that also applies with humidity. So no longer will you have to worry about your exhaust fan kicking on and sucking out all the CO2 that you just filled your room with nothing to stop it. Before you know it, your propane tank is completely empty and it's been one day. For instance, in my main grow room, I've got a lot of lights in there because, well, I'm running CO2. And sometimes in the summer it gets extremely hot outside and causes the room to get really hot. One of the things that I do to combat that is whenever it does get really hot in there, I have my charcoal filters kick on that send all of that hot air out of the room as well as the CO2. Then you just got this big old domino effect because now the CO2 generator is kicking on constantly to keep up with the CO2 levels. But then you've got the charcoal filters turning on because it's too hot in there. I mean, nothing about this sounds appealing. And that's why we're going to go ahead and burden AI with it, as well as directing the airflow and just about everything I can force onto it. I'm the type of person who has a lot on his plate already. Plus, I'm lazy. I know AI is going to do a better job than me. Not because I can, but because it's going to do it while I'm asleep and shit. I mean, this thing takes a lot of the weight off of my shoulders. I'm in, man. And if you are too, use promo code ASTRO. Alright, so now we're through with the first part of the video. The second part actually comes later on. So here's the game plan, guys. I gotta start packing for the DGC, which is gonna be in Colorado. But once I get back, we're gonna pick up where we left off, and I'm gonna finish the rest of this video. Be sure to stay tuned, hit that like button, and subscribe for more.